Welcome to another episode of Real Estate, Real Life, Real Talk, Real Live with the Real Secrets of Money with your host, myself, Damon the Agent. I want to thank each and every one of you all for joining me today on Friday, April 18th. Today is actually Good Friday. And because it's Good Friday, I'm not going to really talk that much about real estate today. I just want to talk about Good Friday and the meaning behind it. Good Friday, also known as Holy Friday, Great and Holy Friday, or Friday of the Passion of the Lord, is a solemn Christian holy day commemorating the crucifixion of Jesus and his death at Calvary. It is observed during Holy Week as part of the partial tender. Now, I just wanted to talk about that. A lot of times we're always on the go. We're always working. But today is supposed to be a day that we should really not supposed to be working. A lot of people on this day tend to gather with family. Many people go to church today on Friday, normally around this time, 12 noon. Also, many people tend to eat fish on this day as well too. They try to sacrifice something, so they try to sacrifice the food that they normally eat, so they'll eat fish on this day. I just want to say that we all need to take the time and thank our Lord Jesus Christ and Savior for us seeing today. You know, as we think about it, even if you look at this past week, life is not promised to any of us. And we should be thankful for each and every day. And when we get to celebrate a day today, such as Good Friday, I think we should really let that soak in. You know, a lot of times we don't slow down to do the things that we need to do. But today is Good Friday. Sunday is Easter Sunday, and Monday is actually Easter Monday. I hope and pray that this weekend that we can take the time to reflect on the life of Jesus Christ, what he meant to so many of us, really to all of us, but to really reflect on what he went through, the sacrifice that he gave for us so we can have the freedom and life that we have today. Even though life may not be perfect, life is way better today than it was back when Jesus was alive. So I think a lot of times we're not really appreciative of how far that we actually come. Even if we go back 2, 3 generations to our grandparents and our great grandparents, we have life today so much better. But we also have life today through prayers, faith, and having faith in all that what Jesus can do. You know, they say to keep the faith, and the reason to keep the faith is because of the fact that faith, hold on, let me get the definition of faith. I want to read it. I just want to give you all the dictionary. Faith, in its essence, is a strong belief in something or someone, often without tangible proof, coupled with a deep trust and reliance on the belief or person. It involves confidence in what one hopes for and assurance about what is not seen and described in Hebrews 11:1 of the Bible. This can apply to religious faith, such as belief in God, but also to faith in a person, a concept, or even a future outcome. Now, I just say that because of the fact is faith is the assurance of things hoped from, the conviction of the things not seen. You know, through a lot of faith of our parents and our great grandparents is why we are here today, why we live the way that we do today. A lot of times people don't want to believe that. They think they was just born and this and where we are, things just happen. But there's been a lot of faith that has been put into our existence, our presence, and even our future. This is the reason why when certain things are going on, we look at our kids and we want their futures to be a certain way. We all want their life to be better than ours. Most parents want their kids to have more, do better, and live a better life than they actually live. And the reason that the next generation can is because of the faith and work that has been put in to do so. You know, faith without works is dead. So I say this to say that as we are here on this Good Friday today, and as you're on your computer, on your phones, in the luxury of wherever you are, even in your cars or strolling on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, that again, faith is the substance of the things not seen or had, but the hope and encourage that it will happen because that's what faith is all about. And I just want to say that we really need to reflect on where we are in life and where we're trying to go. And today is Good Friday. What other day to begin than on Good Friday? You know, you can never put off tomorrow what you can do today. So I just really wanted to talk about that briefly. So that's what I'm talking about today briefly. But I also have guests coming on, and I'm also going to do real quick. I'm just going to give you the house of the week. This is briefly, just so you all can know that you will have some real estate on here. All right, hold on for 1 second. Let's see, where am I at? I'm right here. All right, you all, this is the house of the week right here. This house goes on the market actually on Monday. On Easter Monday, I will be putting this house on the market. This house is a 3-level townhouse in Manassas, Virginia. It is 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. Okay, I want to take you for a little tour. Now, this is the virtual tour of the inside. I want you to take a quick look at it. We're going to stroll through this real quick. We're over here in the kitchen. Let me turn this around. Oops. All right, this is the kitchen right here. All right, let me take this off because we got to go over here. We're going to check out here. This is the deck, y'all. Has a nice deck. We're going to come back in. Now I'm giving you all this little brief tour of the home. Let's go back. Let's go up to the 2nd floor. We're going to go up, travel like this. This is one of the rooms. Like I said, this is a 5-bedroom house, 3.5 bath. This is 1 full bath right here. I'm going to come back out. We went in 1 bedroom. This is the 2nd bedroom. We're going to keep it moving. This is the grand room. We like to call this the grand room with another full bath. So on this top level, we have 3 bedrooms and 2 full baths on the top level. So with the matter pool, I like to just jump down. We're going to go straight down to the basement. See how we got there? These virtual tours are awesome. Washer and dryer right there. This is another bedroom. This is bedroom number 4. Let's go here. This is bathroom number 3. Bathroom number 3. 3.5 baths, y'all. So we're going to go here. All right, hold on. Let me go here. That's back out there again. But see, with the matter pool, you can hide the furniture. So we're going to hide that furniture. Going here, this is bedroom number 5. 2 bedrooms and 1 full bath on the basement level. So right here, we're going to jump back up to the 1st floor. I'm going to jump back up, come out here. This was the half bath. So this is the half bath. This property is priced at $465 in Manassas. Comes with 2 reserved spaces. Now, that was the virtual tour. So I want to come out of this real quick. All right. That was the virtual tour. That is the house of the week. Again, if you're interested, that is a 3-level, 5 bedrooms, 3.5 bath townhouse with a nice deck in Manassas, Virginia for $465. Inquire within for more about that property, and it will be active on the market on Monday. So for those of you all who are looking for a townhouse in Virginia, and also if you're looking to sell your house anywhere, please visit my website, damontheagent.com, or send me a direct message, and I will be in contact with you as soon as possible. So hold on for 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, you all. Now, what I like to do and say is a lot of times we have entertainment going on in the area, especially as the weather gets warm and people are venturing out. I would strongly suggest for you all to check out some of the local people, some of the local comedians. Over the weekend, I had the pleasure of going to visit one of my buddies right there. His name is Tracey Jackson. He's a comedian, sometimes wannabe comedian. We always joke like that. You know, he's funny and everything, but those people who were behind him were hilarious, especially the guy right there with the glasses and the gray hair and the lady with the hat on. The one in the red shirt was good too. Those three, in my opinion, were the best. But the guy in the back with the glasses on, he wasn't bad. And the one with the fatigue pants on, he stayed the longest. But it was just a very entertaining show this weekend. And I'm strongly saying, you know, to people to please get out if you can. It's starting to get warm. I know a lot of people, you know, are inside, like to stay inside. Sometimes it's even best to stay inside because when you go to where there's a lot of people, is sometimes chaos and confusions tend to happen all the time. But at the same time, though, Tracey had a nice venture this weekend. He was the host. There was a comedian. I'm trying to see if I can play her. Let me see. Hold on for 1 second. Oh, this thing is not going. Let me see. I don't know what's going on with my Instagram because I was trying to see, did I post her? I'm trying to see, did I post her? No, I did not. I posted her on my story. That's what it was. I posted her on my story, and I wanted you to take a look at her. But in the meantime, I want to have Tracey come on and talk more so about what he do, his comedy, and what shows he have coming up soon. So if you're in the area to come check out one of these shows, it would be great. Hold on for 1 second. Hold on for 1 second. Yeah, sorry about that. Hold on, let me get this all. So yeah, like I mentioned, that's Tracey Jackson, and he's about to come on in like 1 second. You know, like I mentioned previous before, I was having technical difficulties. Not today, but there have been times that I have. So he's been having a slight technical difficulties as well. But he will be on. So again, like I said, I want you all to check out any upcoming comedy events that he has coming on. And then I'm going to have him to stay on briefly because my topic today is gender wars. And I'm going to have him and a young lady just to answer some questions based off where we are with that. And these two people don't even know each other and everything. So if you all can stand by 1 second, I'm going to bring in Tracey. Hold on. All right. So again, Tracey is having a little bit of technical difficulties, but he is coming in. He did just let me know that he's logging in right now. So please hold on tight. In the meantime, if you are not following me on all social media platforms, please do so. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Threads, Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And I will follow you back. Now, I'm not going to lie. There's sometimes people who follow me and I go try to follow everyone back. And then sometimes when people comment on my post, I'll see that, oh, when I look at it, like, who is this? I'll see sometimes I might not have followed them back, but it's, you know, charge it to my head, not my heart, because I do, when I realize it, eventually follow you back. So I'm gonna bring Tracey in for him to tell us about his comedy events, what he normally has going on. And, you know, he's a great guy at times. So everybody welcome Tracey. Hold on. Tracey.
What it do, big dog? What it do?
Where you
I'm
at, in the
up in
beauty
here.
supply store?
Nah, yeah, I'm in a supply store.
You got bad service, man. Can you hear
I
me?
got caught up. I know, man. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. You know how it is. I'm in Charles County, man. It's rough out here in these Charles County streets. But hold on, I'm gonna be through with this jump in a second. I just gotta make my
Yeah.
way to the front, but I'm looking for the
Why you
little
doing that?
thing.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Can
you
you
see why
please?
I'm doing it?
Hey.
And, yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. So can
Talk
you
with
just
praise and
tell the
move boom.
people?
Yeah.
Can you tell? Can you tell the people basically your comedy events, like how often you have them, and what you'll normally do at these events?
Okay. Well, currently I have a residency at the JCK Lounge in in Hinesville, Maryland. And the JCK Lounge is open 6 days a week. Food is amazing. Actually, no, 7 days a week. It's open 7 days a week. They have a bar and lounge, and then they have a curry outside, and the food is amazing. It's Jamaican cuisine, and it is delicioso. When
Yeah,
I
I
tell
had
you good food, they,
those wings
yeah,
are
that's
delicious.
what I say. Yeah, and they look, they do more than just wings. To let y'all know, they do more than just wings. Everything's amazing up in that camp. And I do a show called Second Saturdays.
Hmm.
So that's every second Saturday of the month. I got a comedy show there. So you got to come out and and enjoy the show.
So they can
So
Google where it is and everything because you said JCK
yeah, they can
Lounge.
Google everything, right? Yeah, and they can follow me at TRACEY M
Okay, let me put it up real quick. They can
Okay.
follow you or what? You talking on your Instagram or follow you in?
Yeah, I'm Tracey M Jackson on all social media,
So
so they can follow me
Tracy
on everything. And I
M.
also do
Jack.
home improvement.
Is that
Thank
why?
you. I also
Is
do
that
home
why you?
improvement.
That why you in? Is that why you're in the store doing the home improvement?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I'm a jack of all trades, man. I'm a general at this, and when I
that's
say
what
general, because I'm general purpose.
that's what a lot of those comedians do. Like like Kevin Hart and all them before they hit it big, they had a lot of side hustles too, in order to supplement their
Hey,
income because they weren't making a lot of money.
exactly. You want to eat? You want to eat? That's what it's called. You want to eat? That's how it is. You know, I've been doing this. I've been doing this comedy for 30 plus years, and the one thing about this hustle is you gotta hustle. And the one thing about me is I'm always eat. I'm always eat. And proud of proud of all this.
You said prior to all this, what?
Technology. Proud of all this, I was an executive. Damon, you know all this, but the people don't.
Yeah,
Right?
the
Proud of
people
all
don't.
this, I was an executive for 15 years, working for a union. And prior to that, I was low level. I can't even say mid level IT before I became IT executive. And doing all what's it called, man? I got a Jewish doctorate degree thanks to my baby mamas because I stayed in court so much. I said, man, I can learn how to do this my damn self because
Right.
don't nobody know your case like you. And when
That's
I did
true.
that, I started doing paralegal work and a whole host of stuff. And like I said, I'm a general. You name it, I've done it. I got a degree and certification in every damn thing. And I used to manage 1.5 million square feet at 1100 Connecticut Avenue. And that
Okay.
is the IRS building.
Yeah, the
I used to
IRS.
do
Speaking
that.
of
I
IRS,
was the youngest in charge there. I was doing that when I was like 37, building management.
wow,
And
you
then
was
I
doing a
left
lot.
there and went to the union where I,
Okay.
was on top of my game there. Look, I'm gonna tell you, this ain't nothing I can't do.
All right,
Even
jack of
when
all
even
jack of all
supervisor
trades.
B try to hold me back, a strong world out there just like I do this comedy thing. It's like the comedy, you got your haters in comedy, and I've experienced my fair share of haters in the comedy world. I just lost the earbud.
Hey, say
Yeah, well,
something,
it
David.
is.
You gotta
Haters,
make my
haters
phone
are
real quick.
everywhere. Haters are everywhere, and I think your earbuds has a
Yeah.
delay.
Hold on, David. My bud,
Yeah, because he
I
can't
dropped
hear
the
me.
earbud, and I think that's affecting my whole situation right now.
Yeah, it
Hold on,
is
let me try to get
affecting
you on
your whole
speaker. Let me put it
situation
on
because you
speaker.
can't hear me. Let me know when you can hear me, okay?
Okay, hold on. I can hear you, but I can't hear you loud.
He done froze up. So here, y'all. So while Tracy is getting his thing together, let me just briefly tell you. Tracy is a comedian. Like he said, he's a jack of all trades. He do all these other things as well. But what I was saying to you all is, if you all are in the Hyattsville area, check out JCK Lounge the second Saturdays of the month, so you can get his show coming there anytime around 7 o'clock. Yeah, 7 o'clock. That's when the show begins. You know, it's a great place to be because those comedians were actually funny. Now, me, I love comedy. That's one of the things I love. I love sports. I love comedy. But those comedians were actually funny. I'm talking about like Def Comedy Jam funny. If anyone remembers Def Comedy Jam, if not, just Google it or go on YouTube. But at the same time, one of my topics today, you all, is gender wars. Okay. Well, I got Tracy on here. He frozen up. I want to ask him some questions about gender wars because a lot of times when I'm looking on social media and when I'm seeing a lot of stuff that goes on, it seems like we are so against each other. Like, no matter what is said by anybody, it's always us against us, and I'm just really sick of it, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna have another person come on. Her name is Kendra Hardy. Her name is Chef Kendra Hardy, and let me bring her on right now while Tracy is trying to get his stuff together. So, hello,
Bonjour, mes amis.
bonjour. How are you?
Life is grand. How's everybody?
Everybody's good. Tracy, can you hear us? He's having technical
Hold on, hold
difficulties.
on, hold on.
We hear you.
I'm almost there.
Yeah. So I love the blonde.
Thank you. Thank you. Blondes have more fun, y'all.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I
Yeah.
heard
Yeah.
blondes had more fun. So,
Yes.
so I was talking to Tracy about his comedy act because Tracy is a comedian host slash everything else. He does a lot of things. But at the same time, though, because I have both of you on here, one of my topics was going to be gender gender wars. Okay, I don't know if you all seen it on social media. We always have a lot of men and women just tearing each other down, especially in our culture and in our race. So I just wanted to say, ask you both, what is your take on gender wars and how do you feel about it? I'll begin with you, Kendra.
Well, I know that people tear each other down, but I don't really have a take per se. It depends on the subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like when, for example, this red balloon situation, people are popping balloons
Oh yeah.
because their person isn't tall enough. The person's hair isn't the way they want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know their credit score. They don't know their lineage. So they could miss their whole blessing based on physical attributes. So people are very shallow that come on these types of shows. And that's an issue for me.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are shallow. I think a lot of people have unrealistic expectations, both parties. Like, I think with some women, they feel like, oh, a man has to be making equal to them or more in order for them to consider it. When men don't even look at women like that. If that was the case, men would never deal with women. And
Wait
then
a
I
minute. What's
think,
this equal to thing? I've never heard that.
meaning they have to equal like salary. They have to have earn as much as they do or more.
What publication are you referring to?
A lot of
Because
times, even on
a
that
lot of
show,
women are on the bus and they want people to
yeah,
make
but
more.
but especially when you look at that show, a lot of times people say that they got to make six figures, they got to have all these things together and everything. And even when you look at some of the questions that pop up on, let's say Spirit World on Instagram, sometimes with the questions be if you look at the comments and you start reading, people are delusional, living in a unrealistic world. Tracy, have you seen or experienced any of those gender wars?
Hold on, Damon. I can barely hear you. I'm
Yeah, he
trying to
said
get
he's
this
been
thing
having
to.
technical.
Turn off these damn earpods
Yeah,
so
turn
I
the
can hear you in the
earpods off.
car.
Turn the earpods off.
Yeah. I'm trying to turn the damn thing on. American, let's check your details.
Tracy acts like the typical old person who don't know nothing about
Hold
technology.
on, disconnect. Boom.
I'm barely there. I'm like one step below him.
Listen, I get it, but the AirPods, I found that a lot of times when people are using their AirPods and they're talking, it's either delayed or distorted. You know, sound
Oh, I
like you're
have mine
underwater.
in.
Okay, well, yours are working fine then. That's it. You know, I'm not
Yeah,
saying
mine is
everything
trash. And now because I'm competing with the car and my earpods. This is
because your
sickening.
Bluetooth is on. You got
And
to
these
turn
damn
your
earpods keep turning even after I done hit the forget button.
turn your Bluetooth off because your car and your AirPod are competing with each other. They're trying to grab it. Because when I have my headphones on when I go to the gym and I have the because the Bluetooth is on, when I get in the car, it automatically stops on my, and then the car would take over. So his might be doing the same thing. But what I was going to say about like the gender war is I see a lot of times like we don't work together as a community, as a race in many cases. And because we don't work together, we're tearing each other down. Like you said, if a person's not tall enough, they don't qualify. If they don't make a certain amount of money, they don't qualify. Or in a guy's eyes, if she got over a certain amount of body count, she don't qualify. If she doesn't cook or clean, she doesn't qualify. Now I understand everybody has their own expectation. I'm not saying everything applies to everyone, but what I'm saying is though is when you look at it from the outside and you look at what's going on, it's like when are we going to unify? Because we've been divided for so long as a community and as a
We're
race,
not going to unify. We're not.
right? And it's and we and you know what's happening because we're not unifying? We're being destroyed. Because if you look at the numbers, we are at 14.7% according to Google as far as the population in the United States. We were at 15% over 10, 15 years ago. We're going, huh?
So here, are
Go
you
ahead.
there,
I'm sorry.
Mr. Tracy? You okay?
I don't know what's going on with
So
Tracy.
here's what I see in my subculture environment. I'm in Montgomery County, honey, to the end. Okay. 270 North is completely different from 470. Excuse me, 495 South.
Mm-hmm.
Two separate areas, same county. Different budgets, different lifestyles, different traditional aspects.
Mm-hmm.
And from 270 North, it's very family oriented, more conservative, more class. 495, is more closer to the urban way of life, more
Mm-hmm.
struggle, more adversity. So
Okay.
I see it from both sides. When I have conversations with people, for example, there's a gentleman who is traveling with his family to Africa, and I've known him for a very long time. And I saw this child with a bonnet on coming out the airport. Why is she wearing a bonnet? His rebuttal was she's 18. I said, that's your fault. That's the parent's responsibility because she's going to go back in the house and go to sleep with the same bonnet on. She's not going to switch it out. You know it, and I know it. It's a sanitation issue.
Right.
We have got to stop making excuses and start producing results. It's nothing wrong with constructive criticism. If someone shares, it's because they care.
Right.
If they don't share, they don't care. So that's where we really need to think about. We need to go back to the ground with the seeds and the soil, and we need to start over.
Yeah, but right now, like you said, we're not going to unify, and it's hard to start over because, like you said, when people do share information, or if they, let's say, like you said something to them, some people are so, I always say, especially our culture, they have the 4 Ds. They're either on the defensive, they're in denial, they deflect because sometimes they get real deflected, or they just are dumb.
Maybe
Okay.
they're in debt too. Put 5 Ds in there. They're in debt.
Yeah, because it's like if like we do so well individualized, but if we came together, we would do so much more. And that's the with the fear they have of us. That's what go back to the Jim Crow law and everything. That's why they have us against each other. You know, there was a guy talking to another guy. There was a black guy was talking to a white guy, and the white guy say, we ain't got to do nothing. Y'all killing each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's you know what I'm saying? You got our young people who are killing each other. I mean, it happens older too, but I'm just saying, with so many people, they said so many black people have killed each other more than slaveries have died in slavery. Slaves have died in slavery.
Well, I mean, we don't have the accurate numbers for that. I was just listening to a story of a Mr. Turner who was murdered back in slave times. His wife was pregnant with their baby, and they took it out of her stomach and stepped on its neck. She was 8 months pregnant, and they burned her alive because she fought for injustice for her husband. We don't know the stories unless they're told. I
They
think
don't
we
want us
just
to know the
need
story.
to.
That's why they're getting rid of the history.
They don't. But it's up to us, though, to create our own narrative. So from me and my community and my children and the people that I know, they know if I have something to say, it's because I care.
Mm-hmm.
And they are very receptive. And I want the same in, retrospect. If
Mm-hmm.
there's something that you think I need to work on, tell me. I'm probably going to
That's how
agree
I
with
am
you.
too. I believe in personal improvement and self-improvement. A lot of people
Yeah,
don't. They think you're not the best you could because you're not where nobody I think is where they want to be. So of course, if
I
someone's on
deal
the
with it in the
outside,
culinary world. I
right?
deal
If
with it in
someone's
the
on the
culinary
outside, they
world.
can see things that you don't see. It's just like when you say,
Yeah.
"Oh, you said I, because it's such a bad habit that when you say it, I'm like, oh, and it makes me conscious enough to think about myself when I am
Uh-huh.
speaking. But some people would take it the wrong way because they don't want to improve and everything. They just find where they at, and unfortunately, a lot of our people are like that, and that's a
Well, a
problem.
lot of people in general, but since we're talking about people that look like us, it's even worse in our community. I was listening to a lady on. There's a gentleman that goes around and he asks people about being wealthy and when they made the money and so forth and so on. And this lady said, "Stop buying stuff." She said she got into the industry of assessing the oil. That's all she does. They go in, they dig. She finds out where the oil is, and she makes deals with the people who are buying the oil. And she said she learned that stop buying stuff. You don't need all this stuff. Just do the things that bring you joy. So I'm working in reverse because I'm doing the things that bring me joy, but I still like coveted treasures. So I'm looking at my stuff now going, okay, maybe I need to purge a little bit. Maybe I need to consolidate and start to become a minimalist.
Hmm.
So I'm working on me for the first quarter of the year in transitioning into letting some things go. Now,
Hmm.
fortunately, I have things that are of value that I can flip, I can sell. I have great assets.
Right.
So it's not like it came from TJ Maxx or Marshalls or Home Goods.
Hmm.
I can get a cute coin for the items that I have.
Right.
So it's just letting go.
Right.
I have all the photos with them. I've already obtained them. It's time now to say goodbye. So that's
Right.
what I'm working on.
That's good. Tracy, can you hear us?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. I can hear
Hi.
you. How you
Good. Well,
doing?
Amazing. How are you?
I'm doing swell.
I
I'm
love
on
it.
top of the world.
Oh, I love it. I'm on all of the world.
That's what's up.
You
That's
on
what's
top
up.
of it, and I'm covering it. How about that?
Hey, hey,
We ain't
hey,
gonna
you
one
got
up
you
me.
look. I want to get on your level.
See how that? See how we just uplifted each other? We came
yeah.
together
Yeah,
just like that.
Yeah.
If people
for
could just
real.
do that instead of, it's not a debate. It's great. Everybody coming together.
Yeah,
You had your version. I have my version. People say the best of both worlds. What does that mean? I'm the
right.
best of every world.
Right.
The new world, the old world, the left world, the right world. We got to stop
Exactly.
saying these sayings that don't make sense. The key to success. How many keys are there? I'm the superintendent. I got all the keys.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, right,
You're
right. So
keeping
Tracy,
So
all the
what?
keys.
you couldn't hear us, but I was just saying, what was your take on the gender wars that you see on social media with us being at each other's throat all the time?
The white man is trying to set us up, and it's working. It's
Yeah,
working.
he didn't.
Everybody's falling for it, man.
They're making a
Because
mockery of
we not
themselves
really at
and us.
odds, man. Yeah. Because I see everybody talking about it. Talking about it started with the feminist movement and all this, that, and the other, right? And
Hmm.
now everybody is pricing themselves out of relationships, talking about they don't want to go 50, this, that, and the other, right? And is young girls now talking about where the men that pay bills and things like that when they ain't even live long enough to even learn how to pay no bills themselves. Everybody wants something for nothing, and it gets
Yeah.
on my nerves. And
Yeah.
then also what makes me mad is now that we got the internet and social media and all these platforms, ain't no more ugly people. Everybody look good to themselves.
You better go
Right.
back to
It's
your
sickening.
optometrist. There's some out there.
No, he's trying to. What he's
Yeah,
trying to say is, when you ask people to rate themselves from 1 to 10, everybody think they're 10. Everybody thinks they're 10. I
exactly.
ain't never heard nobody. No, if you see some of the stuff I've
Well, then I
seen,
must be 10,000 then.
everybody
Yeah,
think
yeah.
they delusional.
No
Right.
accountability.
Ain't
That's my
nobody
favorite
ugly no
word.
more. Everybody look
No
good.
accountability.
Yeah,
Please,
everybody
Yeah,
look
until
good.
they go to jail.
I'm not
Until
gonna
they
even
go to
lie.
jail.
When I look at our race, I think more
I'm
than
such
half
a
the people in
nightmare. I
our race
know.
are ugly. To be honest with
Look,
you.
I'm Mr. Tracy. I look at
Yeah,
people's wristbands
I
and
think
I
more than
say, you
half the
don't look
people.
nothing
It's a
like
lot
that
of ugly
wristband.
people in our race. But even in my family, let me be real. Even in my family, I got some ugly people in my family.
right.
Okay, but they my
Yeah,
family, so I love them and I accept them. But when I look at them, I'm like,
right.
damn, you know what I'm saying? So, and then when I look at our race, everybody don't look good. They might have enhanced themselves to look better than they normally would look, but you're still ugly.
Well,
Okay,
the
you
only thing
can't
you
get
can
rid
say
of
about
ugly.
me is my blonde, because
Yeah.
this is natural. All you can see, ain't nothing on my skin today except for some lipstick and a little liner. That's
Right.
it. There ain't no makeup on this skin
Yeah,
today.
and I'm saying
Nothing.
it's a lot of beautiful people in our race too, is what I'm saying.
Hmm.
I'm not saying we just have, but I'm just saying when I look at a lot of people, sometimes, like he said, a lot of people feel like they're 10 plus, or they, because they've been told they're beautiful and stuff, and that's good. Everybody's supposed to be told they're beautiful, especially females and stuff. But what I'm saying is, though, is a lot of people in our race are really delusional to reality, and it's not just go with the looks, but go with the money, goes with
It
everything,
goes
and it goes
back
back
to
to the
the
mindset.
children. It goes back to the children. Parents are putting ponytails on these kids going to kindergarten. They're doing dances in kindergarten that look like proms. We've got to stop this. I
Yeah.
walk up to little girls and I have a video where I told this man in Greenbelt, Maryland, to take them bonnets off these babies' heads. And I said, you can go get their mother around the corner and she can come talk to me. I said, they're beautiful. Their mother said their hair's not done. I said, but their face is beautiful. They are pretty princesses. We got to stop putting in their head that they're not beautiful the way they were created.
Mm-hmm.
They are beautiful. Those are just extensions of beauty. Those are accessories that we put on. But
You're
their
right.
foundation is beautiful. And they took them bonnets off their heads. Said, Daddy, it's okay. My hair. One of them had a couple braids, and then the other one had a couple of Afro puffs, and the mama didn't finish there. They were 3 and 5 years old. It's ridiculous
Mm-hmm.
to put in these kids' heads because a little girl in their class has long weave or braids or what have you, or a ponytail. That's a vanity, an ego. That's not true beauty. We have to instill the beauty from within when they're little.
But a lot of times the parents, depending on the parents' age, depending on how the parents were raised, they don't have it themselves. So that's why
Well,
a lot of times to be honest with you, a lot of parents don't parent their kids. That's why they got so upset when COVID hit and they had to spend time with their kids, and you know what I'm saying? Because you want to just drop your kids off, and you want everyone else to deal with your own kids except you. Then
yeah.
when the school or somebody tried to intervene, discipline them or say something, now you want to fight. So like the mindset, why do you want to fight? You understand? Like, kids need to be corrected. It's unfortunate that we're in this world today where only a few of us can see what's going on, and a lot of other people are involved with what's going on, and you
Yeah.
can't say anything without it become confrontational or detrimental. And
Well,
that's
I
why
thank
you
God
see.
that I've never been told to mind my business or cursed out because I tell people all the time, take off the bonnet, stop wearing slippers outside, stop wearing pajamas
That's a
outside.
mindset. That's a
I
mindset.
well, it's the parents.
Unfortunately, a
The
lot of people
parents
have
aren't
that mind. They
allowing
think
it.
it's okay. They think it's okay. I'm just saying it's
Well,
the mindset.
society needs to create a dress code and fix it.
Well, if that's the case, I mean, it's hard to get people to put their signal on when they drive. And you know what I'm saying? They did it when they took their driver
But like
test.
I said, it starts in the house because what everybody else is doing don't mean that you have to do it.
Right. I get it. I get
Because
what
I've
you
been
exactly.
told, oh, you're always over glammed and you're always extra. I said it's better to have too much than not enough.
But that's what I've
So,
always been told. I'm extra too. So, and I always tell people, you never
oh
forget
well.
a person that was extra. You'll always forget a person that was average,
Uh
is
huh.
what I tell
Uh
people.
huh.
You'll
Oh
always
yeah.
forget a person that's average, but you'll never
Oh
forget a
yeah.
person that's extra. So,
Absolutely.
but listen, I appreciate your time, Tracy. He had his technical difficulty, but I'm going to continue this conversation later on more in depth, and then I'm going to ask some questions, and then I might have you and Tracy come back on again. But at the same time,
Sounds great.
I'm going to bring you on so you can talk about your specialties. You want to briefly say it?
Okay, everybody. This is Chef Kendra. I am Every Plate is Great on Instagram. I'm also your culinary cutie, Cutey on TikTok. And we're going to just talk about food, all things food, tradition, culture, family, class, etiquette, nutrition, all of it with me. Stay tuned.
Yes, great, great, great. I'm gonna have you on next week if you're available.
I will be on. I would be
Oh,
delighted.
okay, so she will be on next week, everyone, and we will continue the conversation about gender wars and just talk more so in depth and specific questions next time that she is on. Hopefully, we can get Tracy on, but if not, I'll have someone fill in for him. So I
All
thank you,
right.
Miss Chef Kendra. Miss Every Plate is Great, and
That's what I want.
I'll be calling and talking to you soon.
Sounds good.
Thank
Au
you.
revoir.
All right, bye bye. All right, everyone. So Miss Kendra was there. Tracy was there for a minute, but I don't know what happened to Tracy. But I wanted to briefly talk about gender wars because there's so much going on out there. I think honestly, we all need to take a look at ourselves and to see how things can be done better. The problem that I feel like there's a lot of selfishness that also goes on amongst all of us. You know, nobody wants to be hurt, no one wants to compromise, no one wants to sacrifice, but everyone wants to benefit. That's not a reality. You're going to find a fool and be used if you continue with that mindset. But, you know, only thing that I can teach people is experience. And from experience, I've learned a lot. I hope we all can learn a lot. We can share our experiences and we can grow together, learn together. So I'm going to be right back with a quick recap because I went over a little bit and I'll be right back. Great. All right, y'all. So, real quick, I want to thank you all for joining me each and every Friday at 12 noon. If you're not following me, please follow me on TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Threads, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and did I name everything? I think I did. So, please follow me. And my quick recap is today is Good Friday, y'all. Please take the day off, relax a little bit if you can. Give praise to your heavenly Father. Be thankful for what we've been given in this earth, in this life. You know, we've been given life. We've been given freedom. We've been given the opportunity to do better for ourselves and also to do better for our children's and our children's children. So we need to work on that. Also, I just had Tracy Jackson on. He's a comedian who, like he mentioned, at JCK Lounge in Hyattsville. Please Google it. JCK Lounge and Bar in Hyattsville every second Saturday. He has a comedy show, so you can go check that out. I was there the Saturday that just went by. It was extremely funny. It was funnier than I actually expected because Tracy, he's a comedy wannabe. Like he tell little slick jokes, but they don't always be funny, but he always laughing. So y'all know how that is when a person always laughing and they telling jokes. So, but he's still a good guy, and at the same time, he has some real comedians on his show, his platform. And we just had Miss Chef Kendra who came on here. I wanted to bring her on briefly to talk about this gender wars. Listen, y'all, we all need each other, but we're all against each other. Yes, we can do good individually, but we can do so much more collectively. If we only focused on the things that we can do together, we would build so much. We would really grow and build. But instead of building, we're actually destroying and deteriorating. And people don't realize it until they get caught up in situations like, unfortunately, losing their job, going through a financial situation, or going through a health situation. That's when you start to realize You need people. You need people in your life. And you wish that you genuinely had someone who there and care. We can have everything in life if we just help somebody get what they want in life. And that was by Zig Ziglar. And it's the truth, y'all. So I want to thank you all. And I will see you all next Friday. Thank you. Talk to you later.